Hey everybody, Ed here from bobjohnson.com. Today we're going to install Xubuntu Linux on a beat up old Toughbook CF-18. Before we begin, I should note that I am using a CF-18 Mark IV. This installation might not work on older models. The CF-18 doesn't have a CD drive, so we're going to be booting from a USB flash drive. Since the internet is already full of tutorials on how to make a bootable flash drive, we're not going to go over that here. Once it's done, just put your USB stick in your CF-18, power up, and get ready to hit F2 when the Panasonic logo shows up on the screen. Once you're in your BIOS, tab over to Boot, and find your USB drive. In this case, it's excluded, so we hit X to include it, and then we just want to hit F6 to bring it right up to the top of the list there. And F10 to save and exit. At the installer boot menu, just go down to Install Xubuntu and hit Enter. Xubuntu does a pretty good job at guiding you through the installation process, so we're just going to go ahead and skip all that. Once it's done installing, it'll prompt you to restart. As soon as the Panasonic logo comes up, hit F2 again to get into the BIOS. Now, just like before, we're going to tab over to the boot menu, and then we're just going to remove the USB drive from the boot order so that it doesn't try to install itself again. It always seems to take the longest the first time you boot up, so while we're waiting, I would just like to invite you to leave a comment. Let me know if there's any other Linux Toughbook configurations you'd like me to try out. Okay, so now we've got Xubuntu up and running, and it's working pretty good, but there's just a couple issues. One is the touch screen is all out of whack, so we need to calibrate that. The other thing we need to look at is these front buttons here. We've got our rotate screen button and our lock button. Most importantly, the rotate screen button does nothing right now, so we're gonna fix that. Okay, to start, we're gonna calibrate the touch screen. So before you do this, just make sure you're connected to the internet, and then open up your terminal and just type the same stuff that I'm going to type here. We'll start out by making a directory to hold the configuration file. That's a capital X and 2 1s. Hit enter, it'll ask for your password. And it didn't work for me because I already made it earlier, so don't worry about that. Next thing we're going to do is install the calibrator. It'll give us a bunch of text so we can feel like a hacker. All right. And once that's installed, we'll just open it up. Before you open it though, make sure you have something to use as a stylus on hand, because you're gonna have to precisely poke some dots on the screen to do this. So once you've got that ready, just type in the following. Command not found, because I screwed something up. What did I do? Oh, there it is. I spelled sudo with a P. Sudo is spelled with a P normally, but in this case, we want to spell it S-U-D-O. All right. Boop, 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 boop. All right, close enough for jazz. All right, so now our touch screen is working. Great, we're halfway there. Okay, so now to make these changes permanent, we want to come here and select everything from section to end section, or through end section, and copy it. Now we're going to open up our config file in Nano, which is just a little text editor. So. And once we're in there, we can just paste. And hit Control X to exit, Y to save, enter to yes, save. I don't know, it asks you twice, I guess. And now, even if we restart, our touch screen should be hunky-dory. Okay, now we're gonna get those front buttons working. So the first thing you gotta do is download this Panasonic hot button zip file. I'll give you a link to that in the description. And you just want to extract it to wherever you want. I'm just gonna put it in my home directory. All right, cool. Close. Here we go. All right. That's okay. Those things happen sometimes. All right. So if we take a look in our home directory, we should find it, and there it is. All right, so let's just open this up in the terminal. Okay. And now we want to do a make command, so we're in the hot button folder. We just want to type in make. And this is going to do some stuff. Don't worry about it. What it's doing is we're putting a custom script into our kernel so that it'll understand the front button. All right. And so now we just want to type in sudo install sh. Put in your password. And there we go. All right. So now we have installed the rotate functionality, but it's not hooked up to the button yet. But just to test if it works, let's try typing in rotate in the terminal. Whoa! Rotate. Whoa! Bam. Okay. So now to connect it to the front button, we just go up to our menu here, settings, keyboard, and let's pick the Application Shortcuts tab, and we will add one. And then to find it, we'll just open, and we want to navigate over to user. Oh, let me see here. It's user local bin here. And then we've got our file here, rotate. So we'll select that. And then we hit OK. And it's going to ask us to hit that button. So we'll just hit it. And now it's assigned. So we can do one of these guys. Woo! Woo! All right, cool. Now while we're at it, we might as well assign this lock button. You can assign it to whatever you want, but I think it might make sense to assign it to a lock. The process is more or less the same. Just click add, and the file we want to find is called xflock4, so it'll be near the bottom here. There it is. Just pick that, click OK, hit the lock button, and you're all set. There's just one more thing I want to show you. So we will use that lock button and bring us to our login screen here. And, oops, where's the mouse cursor? This is a bug in the operating system, but there's a quick fix, or not a fix exactly, there's a quick workaround. You just open up and close a virtual console, and to do that, it's Control-Alt-F6 to open it, Control-Alt-F7 to close it, and our cursor is back. Thanks for watching. For more Toughbook related videos, subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to use the coupon code YouTube next time you're on bobjohnson.com for 5% off your next purchase.